Thank you for listening to Poetry Fit, which airs Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and 1 p.m. Pacific. Listen to the show only on the Resilient Christian Radio.
If you really take apart the poem, what I'm talking about is, really striving to be the best you can be at every moment. And so it's one of those things that you really have to concentrate on. It doesn't just happen naturally. It's something that you have to really desire. And that's why I said in the beginning of the piece, how many of y'all really know what you want to do? You have to desire it. You have to make up your mind that this is something that you want for your life. And then when you concentrate on what you want, you're able to do it and act in those ways in order to accomplish your goal. Okay, so people don't become excellent by accident, y'all. I'm just gonna put it out there because I know sometimes you see somebody and you're like, man, they're so great at this, and I just watch them and it's like, they don't even have to practice. And no. If you see someone operating on a level of excellence, they have practiced many days, many nights, many hours, many years. I could keep going to be in that place where it just seems like it's natural and it flows. In fact, that's what flow is all about. The flow is what you get after you put in the work. So you got to be ready to put in the work. But here's the thing, y'all. When you make the decision to be excellent, in order to win in life, right? You make that decision to be excellent. You strive to really put your best foot forward at all times. Guess what? The most amazing part about it is the answers are inside of you. Right now, where you are right now, you already have the answers. You have to manifest it into this realm, but it's inside of you. You can do that thing. You can be that thing because it will be so, it's so close to why you're here, your whole purpose. So once you really manifest and figure out what that purpose is, then when you strive for greatness, you strive for excellence in doing that purpose, it's already part of who you are. So you just have to work on developing those talents and those gifts like I always talk about. But it's so closely related. It's one and the same. It's like air, breathing air. One and the same. Your makeup, your talents, your gifts to your purpose. Because everybody has a different purpose. So they have different sets of gifts and talents and things that they're good at. So that's why you can't ever look at somebody else and be like, man, I wish I was them. No, they have their purpose. They have their talents. They have their gifts. And they have their problems. And they have their issues. Trust me, there's no situation that's perfect. There's no perfect people, no perfect situations. So thank God that you are where you are, that you have the talents and gift set that you have. And I know some people are like, man, I wish I was like super talented and I could sing and I could dance and I can rap and I can really be good with finances and be, I'm really good consultant, counselor, business. You just want to have like 50 different gifts. The problem in those areas, it's not really a problem, but it does come up, is that when you're super talented, it's hard to find something that you want to focus on, and it takes you a little bit longer to figure out your purpose because you have so many things that you're good at. They say the jack of all trades, master of none. So that's why, but if you have like two things that you realize that you've heard from so many people that you're great at, how hard is it to kind of, focus in and do some things with those two things that you're good at and that you continue to work at? So it's a little bit easier. So don't always look at the person who's more talented thinking they have the advantage. It's not the talent that gives you the advantage. It's when you decide to be excellent in your talents, when you pursue greatness in your talents, and that's where you start separating yourself from other people. So that's why I say greatness is a place where the air is thin and the people are few. Is this really what you want? Do you know what this will require from you? You got to ask yourself that, because I'm telling you, when you get great at something, when you really pursue something and you do something that's like just really on a different level than most people, man, that air is thin. And when I say air is thin, have you ever been in visit a place where the altitude is really high, and so the air is thinner, so it's hard to breathe? So that's what I mean. Like, it's hard to breathe up there. You're so high up. You're in a place where it's just you and a few other people doing some amazing things. But then again, it could be a place of loneliness. It could be a place where, yes, you've accomplished in certain areas of your life, but in other areas you're like, man, I just feel empty. So it's not always a place that people desire, because a lot of people find comfort in having company and being comfortable and being around a lot of people who are on their level, and then everybody's like, they have friends and they like to hang out and like do stuff. Not to say that you can't have friends when you pursue excellence, but when you pursue excellence, you kind of limit your circle of people, because a lot of people just want to be mediocre. They just want to try to do it. They just want to attempt at it, and then they say they do it like once or twice, and then they love being like, well, this ain't for me, because if it was for me. And I always say that, but you will be surprised. No matter how much I say the same thing, you're still going to have the same people telling you, man, if it was meant for me, I would get it on the first try. When the irony is, no, you won't. Okay, there's stuff that's meant for you, but it's gonna take work. It's really gonna take everything that you have to be everything that you desire, that's inside of you. Everything you have right now. And then when you get to that next level, it's going to take everything you have at that level to get to the next level. So you're constantly working with what's inside of you and working with what's around you to get to another position and to create another atmosphere or another level in your life. So if you don't know how to work with what you have, then it's always going to be challenging for you, because you're going to be like, if I had this, and I always talk about this, if I had this, then it would be a lot easier. If I had that. No, believe it or not, everything that you have right now, around you, inside of you, over here, over there, everything that you have access to is all that you need. It really is. And I know some people will be like, well, okay, let's get back on fitness. How can you tell me I have all that I need? I don't have a membership to a gym. I don't have any friends that are fit. I don't have, and you can write me a list of 30 things you don't have, and that's the reason why it's hard for you to, to consider being healthier and more fit in your life, because you don't have the advantages that other people have, or that other people will tell you that you need in order to change your life. And I'm telling you, I don't care if you don't have none of that, but what you do have will work for you. But it won't work until you work it. You got to work it. And that's why I said, who's ready to work? You got to ask yourself that. Don't waste people's time. I can't tell you how many people call me and say, hey, T, I'm ready to work out. I really want to change. I'm going to start working out with you. Do you mind? Like, I can't afford a membership to a gym, but could we just go, to the track, or could we go to, like, outside or go for a walk or just do some, can you come to the house and we could just show me some different exercises that I could be doing and all that, right? And then I'll be like, all right, well, let me check my schedule. And then I make some time to help out, whoever asks. So I try to make some time. I'm like, hey, meet me at the track, or meet me at my house, or meet me here, or meet me there, right? And people don't even respond. They don't text. They don't call. And then you hear from a couple days later talking about, oh, yeah, my bad. Something came up and da-da-da-da. How about next week? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm all about helping, but you're not about to waste my time either. So if I make room in my schedule to help you, and I believe in what you're trying to do, and I want to, guide you in that the right direction, man, you can't mess that up. And some of y'all are like, well, I don't even have your information. Well, you can reach out to me on Facebook, Santia, Santia Jackson. You can reach out to me on YouTube. My page is Poetry Fit, Poetry space fit. Hit me up there. But, if you can't reach out to me, there's other people around you who would be willing to help. But sometimes you just got to open your mouth. You got to ask. You got to ask the people that you look at and you're like, man, so-and-so is in shape. I guarantee a lot of these people that you think are on a different level and they would never talk to you or whatever, or you're intimidated by their presence, if you ask them to help, I guarantee a lot of them, there might be some of them who might be just like a real whatever. They might be just, brush you off and be like, no, I'm busy. But I guarantee you stay persistent, it's going to be a couple of people that will be like, yeah, sure. What do you have questions about? You'd be surprised how helpful people will be when it comes to you pursuing this goal. People really want to help. I've experienced it. I've definitely experienced it on my journey. So, but guess what? Who's ready to work? That's the question you got to ask yourself, because I think it's so much easier sitting at home watching TV and making excuses on why you don't have what you want in your life and why you can lose some of the weight, but you can't ever keep it off. You got to work to keep it off. You can't it's just like a relationship. You work to get the person, but you work to keep them. If you just think the work stops once you get to your goal, then that's how you continuously get to your goal and you gain the weight back. The work never stops. As long as you desire to be in shape, to be fit, you have to continuously work at it, and you educate yourself in eating right, and you continuously educate yourself on things that you should be eating, things that you may need to cut back from, because everybody's body is different. Everybody has a different genetic makeup. So, like I always say, always seek your healthcare provider, a doctor, medical professional, and figure out what works for you and what works for your body type, what works for your genetics, so you can make the most out of your body and your health, okay? But that takes work, because you actually have to reach out to your doctor and your medical professional, whoever you're seeing on a yearly basis, and you might have to see him before that yearly checkup, and you're like, I got to make a doctor's appointment, or man, I got to meet up over here, and I just don't have the time. How am I going to find the time with doing this? See, that all those, it's completely relevant. Don't get me wrong, and I completely understand. But like I said, with anything, when you're ready to get something, you have to be ready to put in that work and count up the cost. If you say to yourself, hey, yeah,
check us out at Facebook at RCR Network, and also on Twitter at RCR_network, and our website at rcrnetwork.com.